Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? Awesome to be with you this evening. I know that some of you may have some of you may have seen that Jen was going to be joining me tonight, but we've had a lot of crazy things going on here. Unfortunately, in our house, she won't be joining us this evening, but I am excited to be with you and excited to talk about what we will be tonight. If you are a guest tonight, welcome to our Thursday night business preview. Again, my name's Ken Woods. And as you can see, you got some friends on here tonight, as well as if you're a guest tonight, as well as you. And so we're excited to have you on with us this evening. And let me give you a little bit of my background. I'm usually the host and also sometimes presenter. Tonight, I'm doing a little bit of both. And my background is that um, after high school, went into the military, went to a service academy, and at the Air Force Academy out in Colorado. Went into the military afterwards. Had a very short career, but interesting career in counterintelligence and law enforcement as an OSI agent, Office of Special Investigations, while I was in the military, and did a bit of traveling, lots of interesting experiences, and started to figure out, like many people, that as you climb any um, business ladder, corporate ladder, other things, um, as you work your way through any large organization, which the military is nothing but a large organization, right? Um, that you start to see, well, how would I say this? You start to see that the more you start to accomplish, the more complicated your life gets. The more you start to get done, the more responsibilities people put onto you. And what I saw, and I don't know if many of you have experienced this before, maybe you're early in your career, maybe you're late in your career. I see we've got people on here from all over the place. You know, Bill and Kim, great to see you on tonight. Cecilia, Daryl, George and Eileen, Helen and Bucky, Maria, Mary Jo, Patty and Matt, Rebecca, Richard, Madeline, Scott, Seth. Awesome to have you all on tonight. Bill, thanks for letting me know that you can hear me. I usually ask, but I saw that people that were responding and nobody was saying that I didn't, so I didn't even ask this time. But thank you for letting me know, because I usually ask that question. But what I was going to say is, so what happens is, I don't know if you have similar experiences. You start to get into the groove of what you're doing, and you start to realize, man, this isn't exactly what I was expecting. Or you start to realize, or maybe have some situations like myself where you start thinking about, gosh, is this what the rest of my career is going to be like? But more responsibility, more time, more stress, more everything, in order to continue to get promoted. And I was starting to lose the fun aspect of the early years of being in my career, and starting to see the grind, which led Jennifer and I, because she was in the military as well, and she was in a different career path, but she was also an officer in the Air Force like me. And she and I were starting to think of all the other things we wanted to do in life, like have a family, which is complicated if both people are in the military are serving. Um, we started thinking about the other goals we had in life outside of our professional careers. Started thinking about having a family, all these different types of things. And um, and really what it boiled down to is we wanted to live life on our own terms. And so that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes this evening. Let me throw up some slides so you guys can follow along with me. I think it makes it a little easier, keeps me on target. And let me jump over here just for a second to my our YouTube stream. We're shooting this over to some friends. Jose, hey, how are you? Maria and Gary, good to see you on as well. So welcome to all of you. Um, so living on your own terms. Here's what I would say about that. If you're like Jen and I, um, you probably have given this a bit of thought. you would like a little more control of your life. If you're like Jen and I, you are thinking and have thought of, how do I get that? How do I accomplish that with the responsibilities in the life that I currently have? How do I get from A to B? B being this life a little more on our own terms, but I would like to circumvent the whole career necessary that would normally be necessary in whatever it is I do for a living in order to try to get there. And yet I've got all these responsibilities, so I want more, but I have responsibilities, so I know I can't just drop everything and just start over, because you have a mortgage payment, you have cars, and you have kids, or you have family members, you have other things you're responsible for. You don't want to live under a bridge. You like to eat, and all sorts of stuff. So you find yourself in a bit of a I think a conundrum, if you will. But you still understand that, again, if you're like me, and maybe some of you are not, but if you're here tonight, you're probably thinking about this idea of, yes, Ken, I do want to have a little more control. I want a little more out of life than where I'm currently at, for whatever your individual reason is. And this idea of independence is kind of what I'm talking about. So here's how I see it. Independence is kind of the new standard. It's found in many places, right? It's anywhere from this whole work from anywhere environment that you find a lot of tech companies giving their employees. Now some of them are going back to the office, and some, for half a week or different things. But in order for so many different entities to compete today, people are actually looking for more flexibility. They're looking for that control, that living life on their own terms. They're looking for a little less commuting. Some of this maybe is due to the disruption the pandemic caused, but I think that was really in many ways an accelerator that technology brought to all of us. The idea that we have tech like we're using tonight. Here we are on Click Meeting, which is kind of a Zoom-like platform, webinar type of platform where you can interact with the with in the chat, like, here Maria is responding to me, saying that she's doing good. Thanks for asking. So awesome, Maria. I'm glad to see that you are doing good. And Maria, remind me where you're located, just so I can remember. Is it Las Vegas? Is that where it was? I'm trying to remember. Yes, Las Vegas. Awesome. So here we are talking to each other. You're 2 time zones away from me, right? Or is it 3 time zones? You're in the Western time zone, right? Are you in Central or West? I'm trying to remember. Remind me. What are you? You're typing. West. Okay, great. So you're 3 time zones away. I'm on the East Coast. So you're 3 hours behind me. It's only 6 o'clock at night. Here we are connected using tech, right? This whole idea of being able to do stuff from anywhere. If you're in the workforce, you're starting to see this idea of having to manage your retirement funds, with a 401k, even if your company even has something like that. But the other thing that's going on is there are many more ways of making money. And what you see today is the idea that you can do something on the side. What's the expression we call, right? We call it a side hustle. There are ways that you can keep doing what you're doing, kind of your plan A job, and start a plan B job to help you reach your goals faster, help you get to that independence, if you will, a little bit faster. And there's lots of things that we can say about side hustles. But the biggest thing I think we could all agree on is that there are people doing side hustles everywhere, all over the place. However, the big thing that I would say about that is most of them emphasize this concept of side, and they kind of downplay the hustle. What you find is that depending on the area that you're dealing with, whether it's a service side hustle or a product-based side hustle, or maybe it's something that I guess you would call something in the um, vacation rental or other big asset requiring entities. Those are still kind of service based because you're providing a place for somebody to stay. But really, what they rely on is kind of this time is money model, or lots of money to make money model. And I would say those are great if you have a lot of money or you have a lot of time already that you can devote to something. Okay, that's great. I'm not going to knock a lot of these other side hustles, but the big thing I want to say about all this is, because of technology, there are a lot of other things going on in life, a lot of other ways that are commonplace for that. And so, what I'm going to talk to you tonight about is a unique way to make some extra money that could lead to more than just a little bit of extra. And I'm excited to talk about it because it circumnavigates that circumvents, not navigates. That would be like if you went around the world, but circumvents this idea of having to enter this time is money model only. So if you think about side hustles, and I you wouldn't be here if you weren't, you should be thinking about this equation right here. And that is the idea that if you want the results, and let's call those results independence, you need to have a desire for more plus the opportunity to earn some extra income to have that more, plus some amount of skin in the game. Now, if you're dealing with, um, let's say, buying a home, a second home, and making it a vacation rental, that skin in the game is going to be probably a pretty significant down payment. You're getting into not a low mortgage rate anymore. You've got all the carrying costs of doing that. So you got a pretty high skin in the game. If you're doing some sort of service-based side hustle, let's say that you do a delivery for somebody or you do some sort of professional service, that's probably more of a trading time and using your computer or your vehicle or some other thing as well as your knowledge base to do that. And you can go on and on and on. What I want to talk to you about is something different. I want to talk to you about the idea that most time is money model side hustles are not an on your terms type business. We all know that hustling harder is not the goal, right? I think we could all agree on that. Good to see you on, Bill. No worries that you're late. I'm glad you made it. But this idea that you want more out of life, but you already have pretty full life, means that you're not looking for this hustle harder type concept. You want to be hustling smarter, right? You're going to have to put in some effort, but I would say that what people are looking for is an on your terms business. They're looking for a way to change that equation and add control to it. They have desire for more. They understand that they have to find something, and we're going to show you something here tonight about a real opportunity to earn extra income. If you're a guest tonight, we're going to show this to you, and we're going to show you how you can have limited skin in the game, some personal effort, as well as a small amount of money. I think it's like $76 to get started in this business. That's for the quote unquote registration fee, that sort of thing. But we're going to show you something that can give you control, where you can work from anywhere, where it's low risk, and where it's a model that is not just hours equals dollars. Now, there's definitely some time that you'll have to put into it, and that's going to be the case in anything. I think it'd be crazy if somebody told you that they had a business where there was no effort involved. That'd be a scam. There wouldn't be such a thing. But we're going to show you something where it can be an on your terms business model, where you can do it when you want to do it, from where you want to do it, and build it how you want to build it. And you're going to be supported by an amazing company. But before I get into that, here's what I would tell you. I'm not going to say that what I'm going to show you is the only way to make money, because that would be crazy. There are a lot of great ways to make some extra income. But what I would say is most of them, if they're tech based, let's say they rely on algorithms and computer modeling to get you your customer base, or to deliver content or information to you. That's like an algorithm controlling your destiny. Um, some of the business models that are out there as side hustles, they are completely dependent on your availability at inopportune times, right? We try to do a business meeting like this at 9 o'clock on the East Coast, so we can kind of bridge the gap between the West Coast and the East Coast. So West Coast is at 6 p.m. at night. People are already off work, and on the East Coast, they are kind of wrapping up their evening. Kids are down for the night, or doing their homework, or doing their own thing, and most people are kind of settled, and they don't have a lot of other responsibilities. So this may be a time that we do something like this. Of course, we try to make a little recording available for a couple days later, to make it convenient to somebody, or we have another meeting the next week. So that we try to help alleviate some of that. But you get my point there. But here's what I would say: these other side hustles, um, many times, don't circumvent this idea of time is money. And that's why I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about tonight, which is the Amway business. Now, some of you may have heard about before. If you're like my family, you've been doing this business for many, many years. My mom and dad actually got involved in this when I was young. They built it throughout my entire life. And while I was in the military, Jen and I kind of took a look at this in a different way. And we said, you know what? Let's let's see what it is really that my parents are excited about here. My dad had been a police pilot, and my mom a stay-at-home mom with my brother and I. And so, my dad was a professional, and with a great career option, and another pilot showed him this business, kind of like what I'm showing you tonight, and showed him a way to make some extra money. And so they got started, and they got involved and became very successful. Showed it to Jen and I, and it allowed us to leverage the power of our family to do something where we could do it together. And Jen and I were able to help build our family business, and take it kind of to another level, and keep it perpetuated, keep it going, building it with some of the great people that are on this evening. If you're a guest, you may not know them, um, but people that were just like us. And it's a unique business because Amway does the heavy lifting. So you might say, well, what is this Amway thing all about? What do you do here in the Amway business? Many people have heard of it. They kind of understand that it's a business that has products, and they have some sort of interesting compensation plan, but they don't really understand what it is. Well, let me explain it to you. Amway is a business that sells health and wellness products, but they do it through people like myself, people like some of the people on tonight. And we're going to encourage you to get started and do just what we're doing, because you can have a business of your own that has over 350 different products available to you, and you don't have to stock those products. Sure, you can keep a few of them on hand if you want, because you might have some customers that order from you regularly, and so you like to help them out by having them local. But this is a business that you can start off small, just with yourself, part-time, with no customers and no business associates. We call them independent business owners in your organization, and not even sure what's going on. And you can do it with $76. You can begin to get training and education that's provided by Amway, provided by our team, our organization of fellow business owners. We call ourselves the iCommerce team. I standing for, um, you know, the power of the internet, the power of the individual, independence, kind of this iCommerce team. And but these wellness products are all in categories that real people are using every day. Whether you're taking, if you're looking at the screen here, some of these supplements in gummy form, or you're using some really high quality skincare products to um, help with um, um, reducing the signs of aging, all the way down to protecting your skin. Some sports nutrition product line, if that's what you're into, or personal care products like toothpaste, or any number of other things, or shaving cream, hair care products, all kinds of stuff, or maybe it's just cleaning products. And it's funny, right? Because I'm looking at this screen here and I'm thinking, I've used I've used the supplements today. I've used some skincare products. I brushed my teeth and I've cleaned some stuff today. So there are 4 categories. I don't think I had any sports nutrition today. No, I don't think I had any. I have some here in the house, but I don't think I had any today. I had a couple cups of coffee, but I didn't have some of that. So I bring that up because I use the products myself, and I have friends that use some of these products, and I have customers that use these products. And we have something that we can make some money on as business owners that customers really need and use. Now you say, okay, great. Lots of places do that. You're right. Lots of places do, but most of them do not have really high quality exclusive products like we have access to here as independent business owners powered by Amway. And what's fun about it is that, like I said, so you can be in business for yourself. You can have the access of um, a company that has been around for over 60 years and is has incredible brands. Like I told you, skincare products by a brand called Artistry, sports nutrition by a brand called XS, um, which is a healthier sports nutrition product line, whether they're protein products or energy drinks, whatever they are. Then you also have an incredible supplementation line by a company that's been around over 80 years called Nutrilite. And it prides itself on being primarily plant based supplements, phytonutrients, taking the products that have the best of science put into them, pulling things out of the best of nature, combining all of that together to make sure that the stuff that you and I can get from it can be an incredible supplement that we can use to kind of fill the gap between what we eat and what we really need in life. And anyway, so how does this business work? Well, most of us kind of pick naturally, we kind of pick a product line that we like. And for my wife and I would say it's probably the nutrition line and some of the sports line, a little bit of the skincare, but mostly I would say it's in the health and wellness, nutrition kind of location, because that's what we enjoy using, and that's what we end up talking about with people. And that's where we find need in our area here in South Florida. And so we have a business where we can give people great products. And again, as our business scales and ebbs and flows, and we don't know what of those 350 products somebody might want, we can rely on Amway to help us with the order taking, the order processing, the order shipping, the returns if that is necessary, which usually is not, but they do have a 180-day satisfaction guarantee. And at the end of the month, they pay us a bonus based on the amount of volume we've moved both personally and through our organization. Now, that is the interesting part. You say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, here you can grow at your own pace, but you can do it differently. This is how you can circumvent that time is money model by having a business that you can do that gets beyond just one-to-one and gets to one-to-many. Here, what happens is Amway has a unique compensation model where as you get started, you can have other people help other people to start in business for themselves, but they link to you through what Amway calls a line of sponsorship. And when they do that, any volume they produce counts as volume toward you and your goals as well. And so the more people you have in your organization, especially if you do it in the right structure, which we would teach you if you get started, um, you can benefit in a way that even if you're not working and moving volume to a customer, somebody in your organization may be doing that. Now, do they work for you? No, they don't. They work for themselves. And so it gets beyond just transactional one-to-one to do that. And one-to-one where you would have to be the one talking to everybody in your organization all the time. And that's the power of this. So while I am sitting here, I could have somebody in my business right now working with a customer, or a customer could just be randomly placing an order in my business or personally or somebody else's, and volume could be counting for me. And that is what I have found has been going on for me and for Jennifer and for my family for years and years and years. And every month we get a check from the Amway Corporation. And it is a great way to have a side hustle where I don't have to have a storefront like a traditional business. I don't have to man the door, flip that sign from closed to open every morning at 9 a.m. and close it at 6 p.m. and only take customers during that time, and only if I'm manning the store or I've hired somebody to man it for me. This business doesn't work that way. And that's what's cool about it. Here's something else though. If you're like Jen and I, listen, my professional training was in law enforcement, in crime investigation and counterintelligence work. Jennifer was an intelligence officer. We did not know anything about a business like this. Here you can get training and support, like I said before, from this organization, iCommerce, as well as the Amway Corporation itself, through videos, training. Some of it's free, some of it is paid. Some of it's the paid stuff's all optional. There's plenty of free information as well. And you can do it on your terms. You can get educated in a way that helps you toward your goals, and you can get mentorship by the people that are in business before you, those people like myself or others that are successful in this business that want you to succeed. This is very different. This is not like normal competition in the business world where people are a little nervous about you succeeding because then your success will take away from theirs. Here, what I've found is there are plenty of customers out there. There are plenty of people that could potentially be in your business. And that is unlike anything before. And in fact, the people that are in business in your organization are going to do everything they can to help you succeed because your success is their success. And so this idea of mentorship and this idea of not just having a quote unquote the normal business cost reduction model where yes, you sign up, but then you just have a series of videos you watch. You don't have anybody you can interact with personally. You have nobody that can really help you because that's not in their budget. That's not what we have here. We have a people-based business that can help you succeed. And that is what is really unique about what we have. So let's recap here. If we think about this independence equation and we kind of revisit it, you wouldn't be here tonight if you're a guest if you didn't have a desire for more. We've shown you that there is an opportunity for extra income. How much can you make? Well, here's what I would tell you. You can make $100 a day. You can make, anywhere from a couple $100 extra a month. That's kind of the average, if you will, all the way up to thousands of dollars a month or more. And it depends on how you structure your business, how many customers and business owners you have doing volume in your business, et cetera. But it's kind of an unlimited model. And it doesn't just depend on how many hours there are in a day for you personally with your already busy life. And that to me is very cool. And if we're talking about the skin in the game, like I mentioned before, it costs $76 to get started as a registration fee. We'd recommend for you to get a product introductory pack. It's optional, but we'd recommend that you order that so that you can start to get a feel for what the products are. And what I would tell you is there are a lot of options here to help ensure your success, to help you get started well. There are no purchase requirements on a monthly basis. There are no minimum sale requirements to stay an active business owner. And that 100% satisfaction guarantee on the products extends to all business owners and all their customers as they expand their business as well. So you can rest assured that your personal reputation will be intact, that as you support somebody and as they enjoy some products, they enjoy what you have to offer, that you have a big multi-billion dollar company standing behind you. And that's incredible. um, and this idea of control is paramount, and it stays in place all the time. You choose the kind of products you want to talk to people about. You choose your schedule, how much time you want to devote to this business, whether it's 30 minutes a week or it's you know 3 hours a day. I don't know very many people that even full time devote that much energy to their Amway businesses, but you're in control about how you want to do that. And you choose the kind of team you want to be involved in and how much interaction you want to have, both on the training and organizational side and mentorship side, all the way down to who you'd want to be involved with in your business, who you'd actually want to be in doing business with if you wanted to have somebody in your own downline as you get started, and showing this business to somebody else that might be looking for a way to make some extra money. And I'll leave you with this as I'm closing out. Don't just take my word for it, okay? Don't just look at Jen and I as, or the people here that you see tonight, as people in this business. There are people from all walks of life, whether they're new parents, whether they have kind of a background of you know kind of rising up from nothing with little formal education, all the way to the point of being very successful business owners. Or maybe they have a business already, or two already, or they have professional degrees and they're looking for something a little bit different that they can do as a husband and wife, um, where they can build something in common together, which is something else that Jen and I really enjoyed, was the aspect here that even though we were doing separate things, we could come together and do something together and further our personal goals as a family together. And that excited us. And all along the way, Amway supports us on our journey. Here's what I'd leave you with as a final closing thought, okay? It's this final thought here. I don't think it's a question, if you're on tonight, as to whether or not you're looking for a way to have more independence and you're looking for a way to have more ability to live life on your terms. I think that's probably a foregone conclusion. The question is whether or not this is a path that you would choose to help you on your journey. What I would encourage you to do is say yes. Maybe you're already doing some other things as a side hustle. Maybe you're already thinking, yeah, Ken, you understand, man, I already work a bunch of hours a week. I don't necessarily get everything out of that I want, but I don't know where I'm going to get the extra time. Well, you know what? Jen and I didn't either. We were both super busy in our careers when we got started. And you know what we did? We made some time because we knew that if nothing changed, nothing was going to change in our lives. And so we got more information about this. It was pretty easy for me. I had a kind of a trusted source that I really respected, and that was my folks. You have a friend, I'm sure, that invited you tonight to this meeting, and I would encourage you to get back with them, ask some more questions, and then get registered. You know what? It's a 90-day satisfaction guarantee just for the registration process. You get your money back after signing up and getting started. But I would tell you this is an incredible business that allows you the flexibility to do it on your own terms and has truly great potential. So I would say get started, check this thing out, and get moving on it so that you can move forward on the goals that you have in the time frame and in a way that balances all of your other responsibilities. So um, that's what I wanted to share with you. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's super fun to connect with all of you virtually from here in South Florida, all the way to all of you, whether you're Seth out in the Wisconsin area up there in the Midwest, same with Scott or Rich and Madeline out in Delaware, Rebecca out in Colorado, Bucky and Helen, Bill out in PA, Daryl in Florida, Cecilia all the way, like Bill and Kim out in California, and throughout all the other locations that I'm missing. Listen, it's just been awesome spending time with you. And to all of my friends that have tuned in this evening, um, out and through the YouTube link as well, great to connect with all of you. If you're new to the business or you're a guest, get back with the person that invited you. Check this thing out more seriously. Get serious, put a game plan together, and work on living life to its fullest. So, thanks again, everybody. Have an awesome night, and we will connect with you next Thursday night. And if I remember correctly, let me see if I can pull this up because I'm probably going to misspeak if I don't say it correctly. Give me a second. Let me see who we have as our speaker next week. I knew I was going to forget this. I shouldn't have said it, but I don't want to misspeak. If I do, Scott is going to be our speaker next week, on the 9th, and Scott Taylor from Illinois. And so tune in next Thursday night for Scott, and everybody else. Have an awesome night. Scott, you too, because I think I saw your name in here as well. Everybody have a great rest of your evening, a great Friday, and an awesome weekend. And we'll talk to you all soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.